Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Remember the extracts that we started in another video? Well, today in this video, we are going to decant them and I'm going to show you step by step how to decant your extracts. We're going to check on the vinegars that we made, and then I'm going to show you what to do with all of the lovely pulp inside of the jars so nothing goes to waste. Stay tuned. I started steeping these extracts back in June of 2024, and it is now October of 2025. I decided to make my own extracts to give my food even more depth and flavor. These are expensive to buy, but they're so easy to make at home with just a little patience. And the time is passive, meaning you're not doing much besides waiting. After clearing out my cabinets of processed food, I had so much more cabinet space, so I stuck these in the back of a cabinet stacked and kind of just forgot about them for a while. Now, the first week that I had them steeping, I would go in and shake them every now and then, but after a while, I just left them back there, and whenever I just so happened to open that cabinet, I might move them around a little bit, but when I say passive, this was very little work. So now let's talk about why we are making these extracts. So as you can see, I made a lot of them, but this is because I wanted to try out many different types. And going forward, I'll probably pick maybe 5 to 10 of my favorites and just keep those going. But again, I wanted to experiment and see which ones I actually used, which ones I actually liked, and I wanted to see how much they were going to make a difference in my food. Now, I've always bought store-bought extracts in the past, and this was about learning how to blend and make my own extracts. So let's talk about why. Making your own extracts is one of the most satisfying kitchen projects because you know exactly what's in them. No artificial colors or fillers. You guys know how I feel about unnecessary chemicals. They're incredibly cheap to make compared to store-bought, literally pennies on the dollar. You can customize flavors that don't even exist in stores. So when I was talking about blending them, you can combine them. Really, the sky is the limit, your imagination, how deep do you want to go with it, and I love that about this project. They also make amazing homemade gifts. You can control the strength and purity of each extract. They enhance the natural taste of your food because we want our food to taste good without the assistance of chemicals. They can replace sugary flavorings in drinks and desserts. They last for years on your shelf. They reduce package wastes. They can turn a basic recipe into a gourmet creation, and they make your kitchen smell incredible. A little goes a long way. So when I'm using my homemade extracts in a recipe, I usually only need maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons to add flavor. So even though these might look like small quantities, it will last a very long time, depending on how much I use it, of course. So how do I plan on using all of my homemade extracts? Well, the same way you would use store-bought extracts. You can use your homemade extracts in marinades, salad dressings, pan sauces, cookies, ice cream, teas, smoothies, cocktails, homemade nut milks, breads, syrups, and even body care recipes like scrubs or soaps. As many of you know, I make my own tallow. It's a great moisturizer for your skin. And while I don't use a food extract in there, I do use essential oils, just showing how things that you can make in your kitchen are sometimes better for you, last longer. And of course, the best part is you made it yourself. And with that life skill, you don't ever have to worry about not being able to purchase it, buy it, a line being discontinued, whatever. There is so much empowerment in making something yourself. Now, my video showing how I made each of these extracts is out on my channel. But let's talk about in this video exactly what I did in June of 2024. So step by step, I showed you how I filled my jars with fresh ingredients. Some of them were freeze-dried ingredients, and some were just dehydrated or dried ingredients. I added vodka or spiced rum depending on the ingredient. I labeled them carefully, and I stored them in my cabinet. For the first couple of weeks, as I told you, I shook the jars every few days. After that, whenever I just so happened to open the cabinet and I had time and I thought about it, I kept them on a high shelf in my kitchen where they just quietly infused over time. Now, over a year later, it's time to decant them. And I've been using these throughout the year. You've seen them pop in and out in videos because when I needed one, I would just go up there and grab it. But today, I'm actually going to strain out the pulp, move the liquid to new bottles, and display them in my spice area near my sink. They look so beautiful all together. You will see it at the end. It just looks like a rainbow of flavor. So the ones in the canning jars, I will still be keeping in the cabinet. They will take up less space now. And the little jars, I'm just gonna keep out so that I will see them, remember to use them frequently, and so they're more of a display. The little jars were kind of a last minute purchase, and I thought they were so cute, but you do not need two different jars. So you've been watching me decant. Let's talk about it step by step. To decant your homemade extract, get a clean jar or bottle and a bowl for the pulp. Pour your extract through a strainer. If you want a super clear extract, you can use a cheesecloth. But since I have so many to do today, I'm gonna skip that step for now and just simply strain them. Now you see me here making a little bit of a mess on my towel, and that's okay. It's a part of the process. I know I probably should have used a funnel, but I didn't feel like rinsing it after each bottle. It just would have added more work and steps in the kitchen and having to go turn on the water, turn it off for each one. And because I had so many to do today, I just went ahead and poured and knew that I would have to wash the towel at the end, and that's okay. It saved me a lot of time. Once your extract is strained, cap it tightly and label it with a date. This can last indefinitely when stored in a cool, dark cabinet. That means it never goes bad, which is awesome because it may take me a while to use some of these extracts, but it was still worth it. And again, the effort was passive. That basically means once I got everything in the jars and I shook them a few times, the other hard part, and it really isn't even that hard, is just decanting. There was no work involved really in making these homemade extracts, which is why I highly encourage you to try this project. You don't have to do as many as I did, but pick some of your favorite flavors and try making an extract. Your future self will thank you and your cooking will be elevated. So, as you may have guessed, as a part of my quest to not consume as many processed foods, chemicals, and toxins, I realized after doing a little bit of research that some store-bought extracts aren't always pure. And while they do last forever, you often don't know when they were made and what's really in them. Making them at home means you get pure flavor for pennies on the dollar, and you can make some really cool, fun combinations. Here you see me straining my pistachio extract, and I make an amazing pistachio ice cream. I highly recommend that if you want to try making your own ice cream that tastes so good, definitely use extracts, and this one is one of my favorites. I store my pistachios separately because when I make the ice cream, I crush these and add it to the ice cream, so that pulp is not wasted. So let's talk about blending flavors. You can blend these flavors together and make like a lemon basil or a strawberry mint or a vanilla almond to make something unique that no store can sell you. These homemade extracts will make your final product stand out, and it is a little bit of your secret ingredient, secret weapon that just adds so much freshness and natural flavor, and people will notice. I mean, you'll notice for sure, but you did it. The people who consume your food will notice, and they will just not quite understand exactly what you added to the recipe to make it so good. So you can decide if you want to tell them your secret. That's the joy of making homemade extracts. Every one of them becomes your signature. If you haven't seen my Forever Vanilla Extract video yet, check that out next. It's one of my favorite ways to always have vanilla on hand without paying those crazy grocery store prices. At the end of this video, I'll show you a little medley of all of my finished bottles, all neatly labeled and ready to use. And remember, you can make extracts or vinegars out of almost anything. It's the same process. Steep, shake, wait, strain. I'll say it again. Steep, shake, wait, strain. Remember, you're only using a teaspoon or two at a time, so this batch is gonna last me a long time because I am a homemaker just for me. But once I start running low, I'll just refill the jars with the larger jars and start a new batch. It's just that simple. This project was a fun way to experiment and see what flavor combinations I love the most, and it saves me a bit of money and stress in the kitchen. I absolutely love almond extract, which is what you see right here. If you only make a couple, make sure you make almond extract. So good. And you know I am not throwing away that pulp. I will be crushing that and using it in other recipes. Nothing goes to waste in this kitchen. So as you watch, think about the different things that you could use homemade extracts for in your kitchen. Do you make your own nut milks and coffee creamers? Do you make cookies, cakes, or breads, maybe smoothies? What about your own pancake and waffle batters, salad dressings and vinaigrettes, your own homemade pan sauces for your chicken or steak dinners, marinades which really flavor your food, homemade ice cream, even a flavored whipped cream. If you like to drink lattes or cocktails, how could you use this to elevate your kitchen? Time to prepare the larger jars for cabinet storage. First, we start with our raspberry extract, then our strawberry extract, mango, lemon lime, peach, pistachio, blueberry, anise, black pepper, banana, mint, basil, ginger, pineapple, apple, cranberry, cherry, peppermint, coconut, almond, strawberry banana, cardamom, mustard, allspice, and cinnamon. And I almost left out my coffee extract. Now that I've stored my extracts, let's check on the vinegars I decanted in another video. These have been aging for a year, slowly building depth and complexity while I used up my store-bought ones. I'll store these vinegars on a shelf in a bin right next to the extracts, and they're wonderful in cooking, especially in deglazing pans, marinating meats, or brightening salad dressings. Homemade vinegars are not only flavorful, but they're healthier too. I will go through the health benefits of homemade vinegars, but I really just want to bring home the fact that it brings that old-fashioned kitchen magic back, the kind our grandmothers relied on before everything came in a bottle. And there you have it. My homemade vinegars will be stored right next to my extracts on the shelf. And I almost forgot these two that were hiding on another shelf. I'm glad I found them while I was doing this project. And now we are moving on to what to do with the pulp, all of the contents of these jars. Well, this is from my cinnamon extract, and I am saving these cinnamon sticks. And now I'm going to start blending these. Some I will combine and some I will blend individually. I will freeze all of them, and then I will use them in other projects. You see me using these silicone mats. This was an experiment this time. Usually I'll just put it on a tray. I'll tell you now, don't waste your time with the silicone mats. I thought it would help. It did keep them thin and easier to break later, but you could easily do this with a tray. Don't waste your time. I had to clean this when it was over. Not fun. So the contents of your jars are called pulp, and it is still good. It's been preserved in alcohol. So while it doesn't always look fresh, it is full of concentrated flavor. And there are 5 ways that you can use your extract pulp, or even more, but these are the most common 5. You can add small amounts to baked goods or pancake batter. You can mix it into some homemade sugar scrubs or soaps. You could stir it into oatmeal or yogurt, blend it into smoothies or protein shakes for flavor. That's how I usually use mine. Or you can dry it out and grind it and even make your own homemade spice blends. So that's what I'm doing with the ginger and the pepper. But everything else, I will pretty much attempt to use it in my protein shakes or my smoothies or in my cooking in some way. Now, while you're watching me deal with all the pulp, I'm going to jump back and explain to you some of the health benefits of making your own homemade vinegars. They contain beneficial acids that aid in digestion. They often retain trace vitamins and minerals from the original fruit or herbs. They're free of artificial stabilizers and colorings. They can last indefinitely, that means forever, if stored properly. They add a brightness and balance to your meals, and they reduce waste by using leftover fruits and herbs to create something to elevate your cooking. And now that we've talked about the benefits of making your own homemade vinegars, let's talk about the benefits of using this pulp. Using extract pulp keeps your kitchen nearly zero waste. It reduces food waste and maximizes every ingredient. It adds natural flavor and micronutrients to your recipes. It provides concentrated flavor, which is why you only need a little bit. It extends the usefulness of your ingredients, and it helps you stretch your budget even further. Ginger pulp, for example, freezes beautifully, and it's perfect for teas, stir fries, soups, or even just making your own homemade seasonings. And it still carries that spicy warmth and the anti-inflammatory kick ginger is famous for. So all of these are gonna go in the freezer. I'm blending these 2 batches of mixed fruit pulp from all of my extracts and freezing them in portions. These are wonderful to toss into smoothies, as I've said many times, to add a natural sweetness, flavor, and the additional nutrients. It adds fiber, it adds texture, it provides extra vitamins and minerals, and it cuts down on any added sugars I would need. It boosts the natural color and freshness, and it makes the smoothies more filling and satisfying. So remember, use all of your ingredients and find creative ways to put them in something else because they are still good even though they're extract pulp. And now it's time for the medley of the cute little jars of extracts that I made in this video. These cute little bottles will be displayed in my kitchen right next to my homemade spices on my spice rack. And now that my pulp has been in the freezer for a day or two, I'm gonna bag it up for storage. And that's it, our year-long extract and vinegar project, finally decanted, stored, and ready to use. You do not have to store your extracts and vinegars to steep for an entire year. Usually 6 to 8 weeks will do the trick, but I chose to do it for a year because I, one, knew that I wanted the flavors to be deep, and the longer you let it steep, the deeper the flavors get. But also, two, I was living life and had things come up, and I knew I just needed to take some time out to do this decanting project, and I knew that it would be better for me to do that during certain seasons of my life, and so I knew it would probably be about a year before I got back to it. Again, I could have done it sooner, I just chose not to. This silicone honeycomb thing was really cute. It really helped me to break up the pulp when it was time to use it because they kind of came out in little bricks. If you got value out of this video and enjoyed watching my process and you want to see more of my homemade pantry projects, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and follow along for more ways to make your kitchen creative, flavorful, and low waste for an affordable price. Thank you so much for watching this video, and happy steeping your extracts. Let me know in the comments which ones were your favorites and why. See you next time, and thanks for watching.